Hello and welcome to episode 3 of You Just Got Snapped, starring yours truly. I'm just going to go with Keldon. That was my original username, screen name that I used all the way back in the days of OG Xbox Live on the old Xbox system and early PC games that I played back in the day. So Jamie, aka Keldon, is what you hear from here on out. Any hoot, this will be shorter than episode 2. I wanted to create an episode to talk about using the shop in Marvel Snap. So what do I mean by that? Much like other games that's being released in this day and age, whether it's mobile game, PC games, we are in the era of the DLC add-ons, paying for attachments. It comes under many different forms and fashions, but at the end of the day, you're spending money. So I wanted to talk a moment and cover, like, for my folks that are newer to Marvel Snap, what makes sense. So if you do have a little extra cash flow and you're trying to boost up your game and, unlock some of these cards a little bit quicker, what makes the most sense? So that's really the whole logic of today's episode, and this is a good time to talk about it too, because we just had a new season launch last week. So we're now in a blink in time. I'm recording this on the 15th of May, hence why I'm wearing the same shirt. So, yeah, don't judge me. That's actually the first thing I like to talk about, too. So if I click into a blink of time, it's not going to show for me now because I've already bought it. But whenever you go into Snap, if it's your first time playing or a new season has launched, you might even get a nice little pop-up that will come up on your mobile phone, or if you're playing the PC version like I have up right now, that offers to sell you a season pass. And it comes in two forms. You can pay for the base season pass, which is $9.99. And the benefit of doing that is you'll get a special card. And this current season, once again, we're in the month of May 2024, is Blink. And so this is the card that you'll get. Not only do you get access to a base card as your very first drop, which looks like this, you will have the ability to get your first variant, through the means of leveling up your game just by playing the game for the most part. Or if you have the extra gold, as you can see, I can kind of work the system a little bit and, put some of my gold towards leveling up this season pass. Out of all honesty, I've only ever done that one time, and it was just when I very first started playing the game. And I didn't really know what I was doing then, so that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to create this episode for my newer folks, to share some tips and tricks around that. So the secondary season pass is $14.99, and honestly, all it really does is it will bump you up the first 10 levels. But the thing is, if you're playing the game on a consistent basis, even just knocking out your daily missions, because as your daily missions, you get 2 new ones 3 times throughout the day, so you have 6 new daily missions on a daily basis. Just by working off of those alone, I've never not completed my season pass. So that goes up to 50, where you're getting, cool, unique stuff. And then beyond 50, that's where you get these little boxes here, these season cash. And so that's just going to give you a mixture of, variants. It could be currency, whether it's credits or gold. It's completely random. I'll just put it that way. It's a little bit less known versus, what you see before then. Because, 50, you have the variant there. 49, you get some gold. 48, you get this cool card back for getting that far down the road, etc. So it's a little bit more well known what you're actually getting until you get to 51. But that's usually the first thing I pay for. I don't buy the $14.99 one. I just do the $9.99 one, just for the sole purpose of that gives me access to the special card that's released. And for a while, that's the only way you're going to be able to get that. They will do a series drop, which I created a one-off video for, explaining a series drop that's going to be taking place on June 4th. That's already live on the same channel, too. So if you don't do it, it may be a while before you're able to unlock that card. So I like doing that. And, it just helps. You're getting all this other cool stuff, too. So that's the first thing I pay for personally. So let me close out of that. Move my head around over here. And so heading over to shop, this is another reason why I wanted to talk about the shop aspect of the game, because I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because I have definitely acquired some of these in the past. I'm a little bit more penny pinching these days than I have been in the past for personal reasons, but in a nutshell, some of these like lower cost packages that you can get, or packs as they have listed in this first one, if the price is right, I'll pull the trigger. So it is meant to be an impulse purchase for majority of these, but we do get into a gray area between impulse and holy crap, that's a lot of money. Let me see if we have any examples of those right now. So if I scroll below everything, there's currently an option for a pro bundle. As you can see, I have not paid for that because that's $100. Sure, you get a lot of stuff, and if we break that down, that might be worth it for trading money for time. Once again, the goal would be to get all those credits to quickly like level up your stuff and unlock new variants and et cetera, et cetera. So it may make sense for you. So the purpose of this video is not for me to trash anyone that's buying this stuff. It's just, explaining some of the logic behind, why would you want to. So in this case, if you have the money, you will get a lot of value out of it, because those credits will go a long way to your power level. So my collection level right now, I'm about halfway through 14,000 at the moment. So looking at that amount of credits, that would bump that up pretty significantly and allow me to get, more of these spotlight keys to get some of the variants within there too now. So that's one way of looking at it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Personally, I wouldn't do it just because from a money perspective, I am not in a place to do that right now. The other thing that I have been buying on a pretty consistent basis is a new thing. This is the Gold Pass. So 30-day Gold Pass. For $5, you'll get 50 gold on a daily basis. As you can see, my gold count, that adds up quickly over time, because in a combination of getting 50 guaranteed gold, if you're playing the game on a daily basis, you're getting gold through other means too, right? So going back to the collection level, you're unlocking stuff that way. So that will help, raise that level significantly. And some of these other packages, before we even look at the card shop for a moment, we'll come back to that. Like Token Tuesday, that's a good example. This is about to change over in a couple hours for me because I'm recording this on a Wednesday. But I could take 1,500 of that gold and convert a majority of that to collector's tokens, which honestly, that's not a bad idea, because beyond getting your season card on a weekly basis, we're getting new cards now too, which is really awesome. So if I go down to the weekly spotlight, as of this recording, Sage is my new weekly card. So, oops, did not mean to click out of that. Let me open it back up. There we go. Yeah, so I have Sage here. I'm nowhere near that number right now, so I might get lucky and get that in a spotlight key would be the goal there. If that's one way I want to look at it for spinning gold. This will show you other Series 4 and Series 5 cards. These do swap out throughout the day. I think it's like every 8 hours, if I remember correctly. It will show a different card that you have not unlocked yet. So as you can see, I don't have Grandmaster, and that one's on here. But this is also where you can get some of those ultimate variants as well. So they have a really cool blade one here too. Once again, out of my collection price range at the moment, I only have 950 at the moment. But as you can see, Token Tuesday, I have spoken with a number of people that will put their gold towards that, because it helps them, build up their collector's tokens a lot faster to get some of these other cool cards too. So completely optional. I'm thinking about doing it this time because I'm trying to get that build up. Another way of looking at it, if you focus on just, if you're going to spend real world money, I tend to look at, what am I getting the most out of from a gold perspective? And the reason why I stress that is going to be your daily offer shop. So this will change every 24 hours. I'm on the East Coast, so that would be 3 o'clock local time for me at the moment with the recent time change. But, all these are always going to be sold in the form of gold currency, as we see here. And one benefit of working the system through this route, using that 30-day gold pass, getting gold through other means, building up your amount, you can start, buying a lot of these, and you get this nice little daily offer too. So if you're able to get 10 cards from that, that's also going to give you 2,000 collector's tokens and an additional variant. Sure, you may not know what it is, but hey, a free variant's a free variant at the end of the day. So I'm currently halfway there, but 2,000 collector's tokens, that's going to go a long way. So the reason why I stress that, they do sell gold individually in the shop, And so this may look slightly different on your screen because those bonuses are not always there. Sometimes you'll have an extra bonus if you're newer to the game. So that's one way of looking at it. I won't pull up the site now, but if you go to Marvel Snap's actual website, they do have an online portal there that will offer bundles that is exclusive to the website. That's just their way of driving traffic, wanting you to save a link to their website to continue reading news about changes that's taking place on a weekly basis, that type of thing. But also keep that in mind. I don't know if they have any going on right now. I'm just going to look real fast on my secondary screen, because these change like quite consistently as well. So that's why I won't really like cover in depth like what's there now, because this could change like a day later or minutes later for all I know. But yeah, so they have bundles. So one bundle right now, Royal Hair Day, which I think we already have in the shop here, so I wouldn't call that one a unique one. Yeah, so Royal Hair Day, that one's being shown. It's the same thing, $19.99. Buyer Flowers, we saw that a second ago, Beast Mode. So as of this recording, I'm not seeing anything unique to the online website, but just keep in mind that is very possible. So double check that. Sometimes they'll give you extra gold if you buy any of the gold bundles, like we saw here, through the website. So it may be worth just double checking that first. I don't know if Apple has an equivalent of this, but another nice little tip and trick I like to share. If you're on an Android phone, there's a program that you can get, and I am not being paid to push this, but I've had this for a long time. But if you get an app called Google Opinion Awards and you don't mind filling out the occasional survey, they will give you some money for filling that in the form of Google Play credit. No, it will not be a lot of money by any means. It's usually pennies at a time. The longer the survey, usually more money you get. But my wife and I, we're big fans of that because she's a big bookworm as well. So she'll build up her credit to buy like ebooks. And so I do that occasionally, but I used to be really big into Pokemon Go. Obviously, I'm big into Snap now. So I would build up my money more or less for being able to acquire stuff through the online stores that way. So that's another way that you can build up like real-time currency for just simply filling out some surveys if you're on a Google device. So just keep that in mind. That's helped me kind of manage my monetary budget when it comes to playing games like this, if they have a Google app version of it, and they're trying to charge you money. The credit system, I used this pretty heavily when I first started playing the game, not so much now, because there's way more benefit to having the gold versus the credits these days. It seems like it's a lot easier to get credits early on in the gameplay, not so much. So that's just, once again, personal. You do get a free 50 credit drop on a daily basis too. So as we can see here, I'm about a little less than a couple hours out from the next one, but keep an eye on that. Like, even if you're not able to play, try to make sure you're logging in after the daily reset to get that, because you don't have to pay any money for that. You don't have to spend any gold for that. You don't have to do anything but just click a button, essentially. Bonus boosters. This is another one that I did early on when I first started playing, but I can't even remember the last time I've done it. But there is some trade-offs to it, because yes, it will allow you to boost up a card that maybe you don't have enough boosters to go ahead and level up now. That's really the thought process behind it. So each on their own on that one. And then really the rest of it is, there's the cosmetic feature too. That one kind of speaks for itself. So I don't think I've bought anything from that yet. It's not that I wouldn't. I just haven't seen anything that's really jumped out at me, because I know sometimes they'll have the emotes that you can get. I've just been using the system defaults, and I've acquired a couple through just playing the game, leveling up, and then filling out the card albums that you can do now in the card section. So yeah, that's the main things I wanted to cover. If you are buying from here, another side note too, I'm going to click on the She-Hulk for a second. Notice a little open book icon. That will tell you that this card is a part of one of the albums. So there's a small added benefit to purchasing those cards over ones that do not have that. So like, for example, this Carnage here, even though it looks really awesome, it's not going to give you anything extra like the She-Hulk card would because of the album icon. So if you're unfamiliar with what that is, let me jump over to Collection for a moment. And then I'm going to click into Albums. So all that little icon simply means is that it's a part of one of these albums that's in the system right now. So I am terrible with this. Like, I have not put a lot of focus on this. I just go after cards that look cool, and if I fill up an album or if I get close to filling it up, it's just been out of happenstance. As some people like to jokingly say, it just happened. Under no circumstance was I really like going for that, with the exception of maybe getting like the final pixel card. I think I did acquire that one on purpose, but other than that, the rest of those just came from me like naturally getting them through playing the game. And I know a lot of people hate on the pixel cards, but there's a couple I really liked personally. I'm a big fan of Venom in real life. Reading the comics and everything. I have I can't really see any in the background now, but I have some statues and stuff, action figures, and also Killmonger. Tell me that doesn't look cool. Like, I love it. It has that like nice retro 80s Friday 13th feel to it. So that one was a no-brainer. I bought that one as soon as possible. And then pretty much most of the rest of these just kind of came to me, through playing. And then I was able to get that unlocked, which looks really cool. I do use that from time to time. But yeah, that's the benefit too. Like, if you are acquiring cards that have that little album icon on it like She-Hulk did, the purpose of filling up your album is to get these extra trinkets that come along the way. So if I look into low cost, high impact, that one, I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little over halfway there. This one was a good benefit because I got an extra spotlight key out of it. I'm really digging this too, so I probably will try to focus on getting that because that just looks funny. I think it'd be hilarious to play in a game against an opponent. Huge fan of Jim Lee X-Men, so that's another one I would probably go after just because I love his art style. I don't have very many cards yet, but that's the era that I grew up on. Jim Lee, being big, drawing X-Men and some of the other Marvel comics back in the 90s. That's what originally got me hooked between him and McFarlane, even before he jumped ship to Image and, starting Spawn and everything. So, and then, yeah, Magneto looks pretty sweet. So I could see trying to fill this one up to get Magneto. So, very cool. Trying to think if there's anything else, but I think that's it. For today's episode. Ended up being a little bit longer than I expected, but it was shorter than episode 2. But that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a line, let us know. I try to read comments. If I do, I know Lofter does as well. Or you can even drop it on our podcast episodes. That will definitely guarantee that we will circle back to any comments, because I know for a fact that's one of the things that we're starting to do now is any comments on previous podcast episodes for that, we're trying to bring up in future episodes. So that way we're just circling back. So, but thank you for your time and happy snapping.